Why would these 12 magnets be saving us from having to pull this engine out? That is because this whole front clip had to be removed so that we could access the front cover. Why would we have to access the front cover? That is because we had an oil leak back there. It's really common on these Cummins with the timing cover case back here, where it seals to the block, that they leak. I have a feeling that this truck had a clogged crankcase filter, which we have a new one there that we'll be putting in when we put this back together. But it blew out right back in here, and I feel like anytime I've seen them, they always leak back in this corner. But it's a really, really common leak. And when we do these, we always put one of these billet front covers on. This one is from Beans, just because the stock one is a very thin stamped piece, and a lot of times it gets warped, and if you have to change the front seal on them, it's hard to put a new seal in. So we always just opt to do the billet front cover here. We came up with this magnet strategy when we had to do the flat tappet conversion on one of these trucks, and in that case we had the cab up, so it was a little easier to do this. But Cole actually took a piece of welding wire here and kind of rigged up a way to hold all these things up while we could take the cam out, and keep all those lifters held up in there. And we put a tray in there in case one does fall. You check them all, put your cam back in after you do your reseal. But yes, those magnets save you from taking the engine out, flipping it over, taking the oil pan off, removing your lifters that way. That is the quote-unquote correct way to do it. But you're starting to see there's companies now that have a lot of cool kits out there that do the same kind of thing. This is just significantly cheaper. I mean, it is tricky, but it works.